Don, can we move up? It's hard to see.
Well. Welcome, gentlemen.
Rocks on you.
All right, so tonight we're going to look forward to a nice, clean, healthy debate. I got a couple questions for y'all about the island, about your platform, and about how you want to do things around here. So make sure you give yourselves time to speak. Don't speak over each other. And you know what? At the end of the day, we all just want to have fun, and we want to help the people pick themselves a nice, good, just mayor. Sound good to y'all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Justin,
yes, sir.
did you hear that? They're gonna debate.
All right. Well,
free.
we've got 3 chairs. The chair at the front, that's my chair. I'm going to be facing y'all. Your chairs face the audience. Feel free to pick either one. Go ahead, get up there, get comfortable, and I'll be out in just a few minutes.
All right. Thank you
very much, sir.
All right, y'all. So we are about to start this lovely here debate. And as a reminder, the deadline for applications has already passed. So these are our only 2 candidates. Any other candidates would be right in, and you'd have to campaign on your own. So just keep that in mind. To start tonight, for those of you who don't know, my name's Buck. I've been on this island a little while, seen most of y'all arrive. I'm just over yonder on the top of a hill near the beach. It's a very nice place so far, nothing too crazy. Now, I did hear there was a plane crash earlier, so I guess those cargo captains and pilots, they must not really know what the hell they're doing. So watch out for that. But otherwise, I hope everybody's been having a good time setting up. I hear we got a mall. I hear we got another place, and lots of stuff. So make sure y'all get along and have a good time. Just note that there's some sort of magical aura around the town area, so y'all can't hurt each other while you're in there. But as far as I understand, once you exit that area, well, it's fair game. And I guess of note, I believe the town hall is outside that area. So, you know, y'all be careful. Watch out for some weird stuff, but no funny business. One of these 2 fine gentlemen is going to be elected mayor tomorrow evening. And what they're going to do when they get elected mayor is they are going to select a sheriff for our police department. And then the sheriff and the mayor will select some deputies. And all of them will be introduced this week as well. So I hope y'all are ready for that. And remember, at the end of this debate, I will open the floor to 1 or 2 Q&A type questions from y'all. Anything that you think I missed that would be important for one of them to answer, or both, please feel free to think about that the whole time. Again, welcome everybody to the first ever Cardwaithe mayoral debates. Now I'm going to take a seat here, so apologies. I do need to face the candidates because I got to see who the hell's talking. So you'll be seeing my backside. But other than that, make sure you stay quiet, listen well, and think of your question. Here we go. Well, welcome to Mr. Sidney and Mr. Robin. It's nice to see you tonight. Thank you so much for being able to run. I've got a message from a gentleman called the Sky God, and he's very thankful that there were at least 2 candidates, so we can have some fun tonight with a fancy, old-fashioned debate. So I hope y'all are ready. Now, there's a couple rules here. We don't want y'all talking over each other. From what I understand, the Sky God is watching. So if he sees any funny business, well, he says that he'll have to take over moderating. And last time he took something over for me, well, by hell, I damn disappeared. So I do hope that doesn't happen. So make sure we follow these rules. We want to be gentlemen, okay? Let's use our indoor voices. Let's make sure we use kind verbiage. We don't want any of those naughty words happening tonight. And of course, tell the dang truth. You guys understand that?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Lovely. All right. Well, we'll start over here with Mr. Sidney. I'd like to give you a couple minutes just to introduce yourself to the crowd. Tell people who you are, where you're from, and what you stand for. Sir, the floor is yours.
Alright, thank you very much for having me, Buck, first off, and Robin, thank you for posing. We wouldn't be able to have this debate without both of you, so thank you very much for having me here as well. Everyone, my name is Sydney Humphreys. I was on the last island with the majority of you, and I've been on this island for the last few days. I look forward to getting to know the rest of you as best as humanly possible, and to help you out as much as possible as well. My platform for Mayoral campaign is Sydney for Safety. My main concern is the safety of the people on this island, and the safety of everything that we go through on a daily basis. Is that a gun?
Sorry, I can't see.
Ah,
Hey,
okay,
put that away.
understood. Quite alright, quite alright.
Fine.
But my concern is for the safety of the people of the island, and to make sure that everyone here is prosperous and has everything that they could possibly need to make their dreams come true. Anything that you could need, I would like to help with, or to make sure that you are connected with the people who can help you with as well.
That
And
sounds more like a
as
sheriff
Sydney for
job.
Mayor, I also have a few ideas on a police force and not just a sheriff. So, in any case, my name is Sydney once again, and thank you once again for having me. Have a good day, everyone.
Woo! You get him, boss!
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sydney. Very, very nice. Mr. Robin, if you don't mind getting up, who you are, where you're from, and what you stand for.
Hello, I am Robin of Cardwaithe, formerly known as Robin of Loxley, though I've not been there for many years, so I decided to change it to Cardwaithe since I've lived in here for quite a while now. It's been great for seeing y'all these last couple of days, and I've enjoyed conversations with a lot of you and such. My platform is very basic. It's if the people prosper, the island prospers. So helping y'all achieve what you want to do will help us achieve a great island. Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you all both for these amazing introductions. Mr. Greg, I see you taking some photos. I do appreciate that as well, sir. All right. So, here tonight, we intend to find where y'all truly stand on the issues happening here in Cardwaithe and how y'all are going to be able to help. And it's going to help the people out there decide, once and for all, who the real leader of this island shall be. So keep that in mind as we answer the questions tonight. And we will do our best to rotate who goes first. So since Mr. Sydney introduced himself first, we are going to have Mr. Robin answer first. And tonight's very first question of the evening. So both of y'all have a platform about safety and prosperity. So the first question I'd like to ask you, Mr. Robin, in your experience, what does it take to make someone prosperous?
Good question. It's really a matter of it's quite a, what's the word, opinionated statement, because for example, in the case of Magni over here, a giant building with lots and lots of commerce, I'm not sure, Mr. Magni, would you consider that as prosperous for yourself? And so, at least that's what I understand from our conversations. And so in the matter of speaking, prosperous being just helping everyone achieve what they wish to do.
Is anybody sitting here? Nobody's sitting there.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Robin. Mr. Sydney, what does it mean to be prosperous to you?
I'm really mad at this
To
type of
be
stuff.
prosperous, one must have the resources, and not only the resources, but the capability to get the resources for themselves. One cannot be merely given the resources to make what they want. They must be taught or given the capability to make the resources for themselves. So, in my case, I know quite a bit about many things, and in another case, I know people who also know things. So I hope that being prosperous would be allowing people and connecting people to one another to make them more of a connected community.
God damn it! I
instead
was
of
just thinking
being
that.
singularly prosperous. And that was what I believe is truly prosperous, is community.
I like his mustache, cause you like his mustache. Ooh.
Ooh, Priest Z's.
Well, that was also a very excellent answer. All right, next question is a follow-up, and this is for you first, Mr. Sidney. So now that we understand what y'all both mean by being prosperous, well, Mr. Sidney, how are you going to accomplish that here in Cardwaithe for each and every one of our citizens and our community as a whole?
Hey, brother, I get one question. What does preposterous mean?
I think that means butt.
Buck, if I may.
I thought it was a
The
type of
floor
whale.
has been yours, sir.
Fair enough. Brother Aziz, I will answer that question afterwards. To achieve prosperity for everyone, I intend to, again, bring the community together, have events where people are drawn together to not only do things together, but to get to know one another, to know what your individual talents are, your capabilities, to bring everyone together as, what I said, a community. And once the community can begin to prosper together, everyone can be individually prosperous. And that's what I truly intend to bring to Cardwaithe.
I see. Very, very nice. All right, Mr. Robin,
missed all of that,
now that we
so
know what you
great.
mean by prosperity and one being prosperous, what will you do to make the citizens of Cardwaithe and the community as a whole prosperous as you describe?
Thank you, Buck. I would honestly just help, like, for just helping to connect everyone, and we help each other, right? The community helps each other. What's it called? What's that phrase? Well, I guess it wouldn't really matter here. There are no children here, but it takes a village to raise a child. And we are all together one community, one village. And so with connecting with each other, helping each other out, and as Sydney said, you know, helping each other, teach each other and whatnot, we can become prosperous together.
Ah, very nice, Mr. Robin. Do appreciate that. And I must say that while, yes, in all technicalities, we do not have any children here, based on the overall education levels and relative intelligence quotients of the individuals here, I would say we do have the equivalent. Now, with that said, of course, we are all wondering what it is each of y'all bring to the table here. We want to know your experience. We want to know where you've been. It looks like Mr. Gregg has fallen asleep suddenly. And we want to know why it is that those things are the things we need in a mayor. So back to you, Mr. Robin. If you could answer the question, what in your experience has led to proper leadership of a community, and how have you done it before? Anytime, Mr. Robin.
Oh, sorry, blanked out there for a second. To be truthful, I have extremely limited experience in this. And my home before coming to the island of Cardwaithe, I served as a servant for a king, as his personal hunter. And so my contribution to the community at that point was just collecting food for all the people. And but what I bring to the table is honestly, I really don't know.
Is it food?
I do have food. In fact, I have lots of food. But I do believe we have some farmers, and we'd like to help them with their growth of their businesses. And so, But as of right now, honestly, it's a matter of just establishing myself within the community and speaking with y'all and essentially just being your neighbor until we can all figure out what it is that we need help with and whatnot. I'm bad at this.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Robin. Mr. Sidney, so what is it that you are bringing to the table? What, in your experience, makes for a good leader, and how have you done it before?
Well, you were all there on the last island, and before that, I must say, I was a captain in Her Majesty's Royal Air Force. Some of you have seen that flying capabilities before, and the leadership that came with it. We were all there when we stormed the King's Castle last island, and we were all there for the end result. Including my opponent Robin, who was also there. Thank you very much, sir, for your service. That being said, I intend to hopefully bring that level of leadership to the community in helps with aiding, once again, bringing the community together. Should it need be, in a military sense, once again. Thank you all very much.
All right. Little ominous there, but great answers all around. I do appreciate y'all's honesty and cordiality towards each other. It is very nice to see two candidates not at each other's throats. But what I would like to next ask is you, Mr. Sidney, in your past, since we all know we can all figure out what's been going on, when have you faced animosity and how have you conquered it?
There are very few of you who knew exactly what happened to me on the island last. I woke up in a foreign place, and I didn't know anyone. And at first, I believed this island to be hostile. In fact, I had been shot at, I had been coerced into doing things that I was not proud of. And I had been told that I was going to have to kill people to get by. The level of emotion that we had to go through together in the end was incredible, and the amount of relationships that we overcame that diversity with to create a community that we did at the tail end of that island is something that I want to bring to this island with the new people upon it. Thank you very much.
Well, very nice there, Mr. Sidney. Sounds like a lot of stuff happened in the past here. All right, Mr. Robin, similarly, in your past, I'm sure there have been some things that haven't gone quite right. So when have you faced animosity, and how did you conquer it?
While my past may not seem as treacherous as Sydney's here, and in fact, comparatively, I've lived quite a convenient life, actually, and it pains me to say that. When I faced the most recent time I could say that I can think of was for those of us from the last time, remember, of a very specific neighbor in the beginnings of our first days at Cardwaithe, who was quite not as neighborly as we were expecting to be. And the way I was dealt with my dealings with him, that sounds very ominous, sorry, is I merely spoke to him and just guided him away from hurting me. Just through talking things out.
The sun?
I'm sorry to say, but it's very bright and I can't see the candidates.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Robin. Appreciate that answer, of course. Now, I know we all haven't had too many troubles in our past, and some of us have had a lot. But where we differ is where we gain our strengths. Now, Mr. Robin, I'm going to ask you the first more pointed question. Why is it that your past, your experience, and your vision puts you ahead of Mr. Sidney?
To be quite frank, after everything that we've talked so far about, I personally do not believe myself to be ahead of Mr. Sidney. But from my experiences, I think that we could do well here. And in fact, I had already thought of that if I did happen to win the mayoral election, my first thought for appointing sheriff would be Sidney. And so, whether win or lose, I feel Sidney would be a great help for this island.
Well, butter me up and call me bread. Sidney, it looks like he kind of did your job for you, but I got to be fair and ask the same damn question. And that question is, based on your past, your vision, and what you'd like for the island, what is it that puts you ahead of Mr. Robin?
If I may, to everyone, and especially to you, Robin, I do not consider myself above my opponent in any way, shape, or form. I am not above any one of you, period. Even if I were to be given the title of mayor, I would not be above anyone else. I would merely be a part of the community, along with Robin here, who, I have to say, I had the same idea about giving you a sheriffdom if I were given mayor. Same ideas. Great minds think alike, as it were, eh? But no, I do not consider myself above any man, woman, or child here. Anyone at all. Thank you.
I see. Well, it seems, my dear audience, that both our candidates already have politician senses within them. Very, very interesting. Thank you for those answers so far. Now, I'm going to give you a couple hypotheticals, and I want to know, as mayor, how you'd handle that situation. Now, we're back to Mr. Robin going first here. No, we're on Mr. Sidney going first. So, Mr. Sidney, here is your situation. And Robin, you'll get a little bit of a head by understanding how Mr. Sidney answers this. Now, Mr. Sidney, let's say that here in Cardwaithe, you discover that someone in power is abusing that power. How would you handle it, and how would you approach it with the citizens of Cardwaithe?
Yeah, tell him, brother. Shit.
Quite all right, Brother Z's.
Yo, okay, Z's?
Well, first off, if someone were abusing power, I would speak to them about it first. I would talk to them directly about it, and if they denied that they were abusing the power in any way, I would then talk to the citizens. I would talk to the people and the community about what was going on, how they were abusing the power, and possibly bring the community together towards the person abusing any power they had. Hopefully, that would allow them to see the error of their ways. If that did not work, I would have to turn that over to the sheriff. See how that went from there. Hopefully the authorities could do something about it. Thank you very much.
Very nice answer. All right. All right, can somebody get Mr. Z's under control over there? I think he only had tea, but he's
Listen.
somehow drunk.
Just
All
drink
right.
some more vodka.
Mr. Robin, same question to you. You discovered that someone in power is abusing it. How would you handle the situation, and how would you bring it to the people of Cardwaithe?
Honestly, I feel kind of bad about this. It might seem like I'm just copy and pasting what Sydney said, but in the same sense, I'd talk to that person first and see what they thought about it and about the accusations towards them that they are abusing power, or if some evidence showed that they were and whatnot. And also try to talk to the people who they were above and whatnot and see how things were going there. And once again, if I myself, through talking with them, could not find a proper solution to the problem, I would hand them over to the authorities, to the sheriff, or even the police force if we set that up, and let both the police and the community work together to find a solution. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Robin, I do appreciate that answer. Again, y'all are doing very well tonight, very cordial. I do appreciate the amount of respect y'all are showing for each other, myself, and our dear audience. Now, our next question, this will start with Mr. Robin. Mr. Robin, let's say as mayor, you have stumbled upon a bloody and tragic scene, and you've discovered that one of our community leaders has been killed. And in the very room with you, with evidence all over their body, is the killer, a dear friend of yours. As mayor, how would you handle that situation?
As the mayor, I would handle that the same I would handle any crime. Anything that has done harm to our citizens here, to the community here, would need to be done through the proper channels. Be it through the trial case, be it through the police force investigations and whatnot, if somehow the evidence was proved to be false, or whatever needed to be done, it would be done through the proper channels. And I myself would not make any executive decisions on that situation. In fact, I myself, if I am extremely close to that person, would in fact remove myself entirely as to not create any sort of bias.
All right, thank you, Mr. Robin. A proper, cordial answer. Mr. Sidney, you have discovered the bloody and tragic scene of the death of a community leader, and in the very room with you is who you believe to be the killer, covered in evidence. How would you, as mayor, handle that situation?
If I had discovered that one of my friends, Sky God forbid, had become a murderer and was in front of me at the scene of the crime, caught red-handed, I would have to make a citizen's arrest on the spot and turn them over to the proper authorities, at which point they would have to have a trial and face the very community that they had wronged in the first place. Even as mayor, I cannot afford to be sympathetic to anyone as more than just the community members. As much as it would break my heart to do so, I hope that it never happens to any of us. Thank you very much, Pat.
Of course, of course. All right, now we're going to switch it up a little bit, and we are actually going to ask individualized questions. And we are going to go once again back to Mr. Robin, switching this up again as well. And very interestingly, as I sat here, while I did not break wind, as someone seems to indicate, I did receive special notices from the Sky God Direct. Now, from what I understand, the Sky God watches all, sees all, and knows exactly what's happened in both y'all's lives. So, while I don't understand what these questions mean, I certainly hope you do. So, from the Sky God Direct, a question for only Mr. Robin. Mr. Robin, you discover that there are some folks in this town that are hoarding all of the money and the resources. The Sky God calls them the rich. And we find that there are people without. And the Sky God has called them the poor. Now, given the power of Mayor, what would you do if the rich had all of the resources and money over the poor?
Thank you. Well, what I would do is I would first go and speak with the rich and see if they would help in helping the poor, not the hoarding of the funds. It should be not necessarily give their funds completely away, but in the helping of the community, helping others, giving freely if it must be so. But if that did not work, well then I would have to speak with the rest of the community as a whole, the rich along with the poor, to try to find a solution. And I'll be, in the end of it all, I truly honestly do not know what I would do. If the rich did not wish to come to a agreement with the poor on a basis of resources and the spread of the resources, well, then our community may just fall apart. We cannot be a community if we are divided. And it would be very difficult if not everyone would help to unite us together. It's not much of an answer.
Interesting. Now, this might sound out of place, but as you were answering, the very message of the question I was to ask changed before my eyes. And it says here, direct from the Sky God, Mr. Robin, then why are you lying? The Sky God says that Mr. Robin would always take from the rich to give to the poor, and has, according to the Sky God, done so in his very past. How do you address this, sir?
Why the fuck you lying? What? Oh.
You're always lying.
So,
oh my god.
this in fact that the
Stop
Sky God
fucking
speaks
lying.
Has anyone got
It's,
tomatoes?
is a minor misunderstanding. Before I came to this island, I was known as Robin of Loxley, and while that was my name when I came here, that is technically not my name. My name was just Robin. I'm a descendant of Robin of Loxley, of a man who was known in the land of England to take from the rich to give to the poor. And while I admired his, I guess you would say, his platforms on many things, I never in fact did that, because quite honestly, like, taking from the rich is really scary because they usually have the bigger guns, and so it'd be very difficult to take from them. And so so I came to this island as Robin of Loxley, though I am not necessarily him. I am more of a admirer of him.
I see. Well, according to this note, the Sky God is satisfied with this response. However, he misunderstood the lie, and the lie was only in the name. So, Mr. Robin, thank you for your honesty. I do appreciate it. Now, an individualized question for Mr. Sidney. Mr. Sidney, the Sky God asks, were you to discover that the person who holds the most power on the island has in fact led you astray and was responsible for the very murder of your family, what is it you would do?
I would do as I have done in the past. I sought out this murderer, who was in fact the king of the last island. I confronted him, and all of a sudden, there was a magical attack of some sort. Whether or not the attack was from the king, I reacted. And at the time, I had a gun to the king's head. And
Yeah,
I
fuck
fired.
that guy, cuz. Yeah, fuck that guy.
But still, Brother Z's, life is life and death
Yeah,
is
fuck
death.
that guy.
I still killed
That's
a
my
man.
job.
I didn't like him.
I still killed a man. And a man he was. And a life he could have lived. It wasn't necessarily my life to take.
At what
But you should all
cost?
know. But you should all know who you're voting for as mayor. As you know, Mr. Roblin over here, and now you know of myself. You should know all of my past, all of my present, and my intent for future.
I'm gonna
Thank
make a
you very
D&D
much,
backstory for Robin. It's gonna be great.
I have received notice from the Sky God that he is satisfied with your answer. Very nicely done, gentlemen. Your lies were very subtle, and you were honest in the end. So I do appreciate both of y'all being cordial, respectful, and honest. Now, I'm going to just stand up for a moment. My dear audience, it is your time to shine. If you have a question you would like to ask our candidates, please approach the stage and ask away. One at a time, please. Yes, Miss Rolinda, please, your question.
Actually, I got a question for you. So you're saying we're gonna be either voting from Negan from The Walking Dead or Clifford the Walking Dog? I don't trust any of those people.
AC Star, come on now.
I'm sorry, I'm waiting for the question in that statement.
I'm asking you. So do we have to vote for any of these? Why can't we appoint you?
Well, sir, you're going to vote for either Sydney or Robin, or you'll have to coordinate a write-in. That's the only way to do it. Tomorrow, you'll all be given notes to write your candidate on, so that'll be up to y'all. Thank you, Miss Rolinda. All right, who is next?
All right, thank you.
I think it was Mr. Magni the Dwarf here.
Why, hello, you two. How are you both doing today?
Doing just fine.
Oh, that's quite alright.
Alright.
It's okay. Cat got the tongue. It's okay. My
Quite alright,
question
quite
for
alright,
both
thank
of
you.
you is, so, do you like to diggy dig the hole?
I do like to
Candidates?
dig a hole.
Loved,
Oh.
I do love to
is that
diggy
you?
hole. I spend quite a bit of my time in caves.
It's me.
I love
That
exploring.
sounds
I
quite
actually
lovely.
met him.
Thank you so
All right.
much. Thank you for your question time.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Magni. All right, Mr. Chunks McJagger. I believe you're next.
I actually need to use the restroom. Send someone up first.
All right. Interesting. Oh, Miss Bezos, do you have a question for our candidates?
Oh my god, yeah. So, I mean, as everyone here knows on the island, I like making businesses and stuff, and I like see that a bunch of other people are starting to own their own businesses. So I just like wanted to know, like, how will y'all as mayor like try to support those businesses on the island? Like, will we get taxed more, or like, you know, is there any support that we can expect from the government to help support and build our businesses here?
Robin, would you like to go first?
Yes, sure. For the moment, at least, I would say that my ways of supporting, I'm still looking into the idea of tax. I'm not sure if it will be quite as necessary here on this island as it's been in the past. But we'll say that at least in my case, I will support by attending the businesses and investing my own money and my own funds and resources into the businesses on the island.
As for myself, Miss Bezos, as you have seen in the past, I have also donated my own funds and my own resources towards local businesses, and I intend to continue to do the same. However, I would also reach out to the community and ask if anyone has anything to spare to help with local businesses, such as your mall or your amusement park, which I very much look forward to seeing both.
Oh my god.
All right, thank you, Miss Bezos.
Thank you.
All right, who do we got next? Oh, Mr. McJagger, are you ready now? He had to go to the bathroom.
I'm ready, sir.
All right, please ask away.
All right, mayors, this is a very simple one for you guys. So my question is, if there is somebody who has something, and I also want it, is it fine if I take it from them?
If you don't mind, Robin?
Go ahead. I believe our answers are the same.
Absolutely not. If you want something that someone has, either myself or Robin or anyone on this island can either make it or find it for you.
But what if I want it more than them?
No, that is still stealing and still a crime. I believe the sheriff would have to get involved at that point.
Yeah, I don't think you're understanding me, though. Like, I want it more than they want it. Like, they don't need it that much more than I need it.
Oh no, I completely understand. There's been several times where I want something that someone has. In fact, Miss Leah has an M249 that I quite want myself. However, I will go out and earn it for myself, because it'll feel better to earn that item than it will to take it from someone else.
So you don't support capitalism?
Do you support capitalism? If someone has an M249 for sale, I would buy it from them.
That is all.
Thank you.
Robin?
My answer is the same as Sydney's. We would help you to get it, and stealing just isn't. The stealing is a no. A definite no.
All right. Thank you very much. Mr. Alec, question for the candidates.
I have one simple question for the gentleman up there. Will there be free vodka for the people?
Robert, do you want to start this one?
I'll start this one. As far as from my end, yes. As far as walking into someone else's house and taking their vodka, no. And if there is a business that sets up and wishes to sell the vodka, and then we would support that business and selling and buying of the vodka.
As for myself, Mr. Sokolov, if I may, on the last island I did quite a bit of tea making, and I fully intend.
Hey, who threw that?
Bleh.
Better watch where you're throwing that.
Everybody, let's make sure we're sitting. We're almost done here. Let's all make sure we're sitting. All right, continue.
Why is this guy caught?
Of course.
I have the
Mr.
Conchella
Sokolov,
virus.
if I may, I fully intend on not only making my own tea, but getting a fermentation process up and running as well. So vodka is definitely on the table. And it would in fact be free.
Da.
All right, thank you, Mr. Sokolov. Appreciate that. All right, anybody else? Mr. Z's. Do you have a question, or would you like Mr. Tarnak to go?
Yeah, how is he, cuz? I got one question. Whoo! Sorry, chai lattes.
Yes, like chai lattes.
What was in that chai latte?
Oh, the thing is mean things that brother. So I have a question. I have a question, guys. I have a question, guys. Hey, so oh yeah, I gotta remember my question, cuz you know what? I found out the other day you were not a church up the street. What you thought? Your thoughts on oh, wait, hold on. I gotta stop moving. Hold on. How you gonna handle the multiple religions, cause you know I get the, you know I praise the sky. I praise the sky, and you know if the other person pray, oh wait, I gotta slow down. If the other person praise the demon, you know what will happen if I gotta if I gotta do stuff? Is that on me or what? Oh brother, so this thing is strong at your latte. Whew.
So you're asking them how they would handle opposing religions? Is that the question here?
Hey, you still never answered my question. What is animosity cause?
All right, I believe the priest is asking about how would y'all handle
that was
the matter of two religions in conflict here on the island, please, candidates.
Hey, wait, this brother, I don't know, he would inject me with something.
Yes, Sydney.
It was aspirin. Calm your ass.
All right, quiet in the crowd. We got the answers. Here we go.
Brother Z's, before we get started, please drink some water.
Oh, what is this?
No,
chai latte?
There you go. There you go.
Oh shit! I missed my mount.
Right. As for the
It's
answer
alright,
of multiple
Daddy's
religions,
We need a lifeguard on duty.
while I myself believe in the sky god, I have also met this demon. And while the people are free to make their own decisions on who they choose to worship, or who they choose to follow, I would encourage all of you to at least speak to the religious leaders and know their stances well before you get involved with either one of the churches. Thank you very much.
And Mr. Robin.
Same as that. The freedom to choose in what you believe. We will not make that decision for you. And to answer the second part of your question, Brother Z's, I don't believe it falls upon you. I believe a debate amongst gods falls to the gods, not to you. You just merely continue on how you have been. We all know, those of us from the last time all know how much the Sky God believes in you. And so, that is, do not worry too much about the other and dealing with the other. Just worry about your dealing with the Sky God.
Okay, last.
All right, thank you, candidates.
Let's go.
Let's see. Any last questions? One question per audience member. One question per audience member. I believe Mr. Tarnak over there did have a question earlier. Mr. Tarnak?
Yeah. So I plan to make a living by hunting.
Yeah.
What are the chances you'll be implementing permits or limits or tags or any of those things?
All right, candidates. Question on hunting restrictions.
So, we could, in fact, if we got together as a community and talked, we could possibly set up maybe something like a specific hunting grounds for the public and whatnot. But as far as I personally have seen in my time, at least at this part of the island, the game is very, very restricted as is. And even in just my time in these last few days on the island, I've only seen, what, 4 pigs, a couple chickens. I have yet to see a bear. And so I find that maybe that would be something that we would have to talk further about in the future.
All right, thank you, Mr. Robin. Mr. Sidney?
While I don't intend to run with permits or restrictions of any kind, I would like to set up a game map of some sort, or try to allow people to be informed of where to find certain types of game, where they might be more plentiful than others. Because as my opponent Robin has said, it's a little bit sparse around here. But I have found up north that there are quite a few bears, and towards the east there are quite a few pigs. So I would like to set up some sort of game map, or at least where people can find certain types of game.
All right, thank you, Mr. Sidney.
Very good, thank you.
I believe we have time for one more question. Is that Mr. Bob, or I believe we've already had a question here, so yeah. Yeah, Mr. Bob the Slime, please.
It's a very simple question. Do you appreciate cultural art?
If you don't mind, Sydney.
Candidates?
Oh, go ahead, Sydney, yes.
Absolutely. On the last island, you knew my tower, and you also saw Mr. Grog's base. Of course, we appreciate cultural diversity. We appreciate art of any kind and all kinds. So yes, absolutely. Thank you very much.
And finally, Mr. Robin.
I believe the phrase is, art is in the eye of the beholder, and as I am the beholder, yes, cultural art is allowed and is very much, what's the word, encouraged. Thank you.
All right, most excellent. Okay, so I'd ask everybody to take a seat. We are going to give the candidates each an opportunity for a closing statement, and then we'll all be free to go, and you can all satisfy all your ADHD needs. Now, candidates, allow me to sit. All right. Well,
I'm clean.
In the interest of fairness, I would like you to decide between the two of you who will give the first closing statement. Gentlemen?
If you don't mind, I'll go first, yeah?
By all means, take the floor.
All right,
Mr. Robin, your closing statements to our lovely crowd.
Closing statement is, make sure you vote. And vote for who you feel the most comfortable for. If I win, I will be greatly appreciative. If Sydney wins, still greatly appreciative of y'all having come out and taken time out of your days to come and listen to us talk. So just vote for who you feel most comfortable and think will be the best for the island. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Robin. And Mr. Sidney, closing statements.
Well, I'd like to thank all of you for even coming out here. I know you all have busy schedules and other things you could have been doing. So thank you all for coming. I want to also thank Robin for being here and Buck again for officiating. Either way, there's no losing in this debate. There's no losing in this election. My opponent is a wonderful opponent, and we agree on just about everything. That being said, do make sure that you vote tomorrow. Vote early, vote often. Make sure that you take care of yourselves tonight. It's going to be a long night. Thank you again for the opportunity to be here. And thank you all. Thank you again, Robin. And have a good night.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. I'd like to ask the crowd, if you don't mind, can we get a lovely round of applause for our 2 candidates tonight? Woo! Woo!
Let's go, Negan!
People clap.
Yo, he did.
People clap.
All right.
You go.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Again, candidates, thank you very much for your amazing debating. You two are our master debaters of the island. And I would just like to send a special thank you to everyone who came out here and decided to listen to these debates. We will see y'all back here tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, to cast your votes. Make sure you're here. Make sure you put your votes in the right box, and we'll have a mayor by the end of the evening. Again, be careful out there. Stay in the safe zones if you don't feel like fighting, and have a good night. See y'all tomorrow. Thank you, gentlemen. That was wonderful. Great job.
Thank you. Bye.
If there's anything y'all need, please let me know. Word from the Sky God is he's very pleased with how y'all handled yourselves. You did a great job. And we'll see you tomorrow for the vote. And yes, you can vote for yourselves if you'd like tomorrow.
That'd be enough, Buck. Thank you for the appreciation.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Welcome to Cardwaithe, land of perfection. Everyone around here has a special connection. A place to have fun and a place for reflection where nothing can get in our way. Cardwaithe, crazy and classic. The adventures we go on are pretty fantastic. So take the leap and join us. What do you say? We got 7 gods on 7 islands.